Hello, welcome to Broken Mind and Growing Confidence, the podcast with funding from the National Lottery and the government. I'm Claire from Positive Life Workshops. I am a guide and a healer. I help people who have struggled with anxiety and depression, who want to start living that more positive life. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Broken Mind and Growing Confidence. We're in the Stay Connected sessions, which are every Thursday, and that's 6 till 7 p.m. We're on tonight, and we will be recording for next week's episode, so you don't miss out if you don't come live. If you want the details, you can come onto the Facebook page, which is Positive Life Workshops CIC, and you can go to the events and you can get a ticket there if you'd like to join us live. So, this week we're talking about reading books, and these 8 sessions that we're doing at the minute with the Local Connections funding are all run around my own book. So, it's about using books as tools to boost our mood. So, I used to do a lot of reading when I was younger. I used to read every single night before bed. I read hundreds. I read all the Enid Blyton books, Judy Blume, Roald Dahl, all those kind of books. I would sit every single night and read and read and read and read. Then as I got older, I started to read different types of books. Then I only started to read on holiday, and then it kind of dwindled off and I stopped reading. But when I think back and I look at what kind of books I was reading, they were all quite sad and depressing, and they were inspirational in a way that they made me want to kind of look after these types of people and these people who are suffering and these people who needed help. It kind of gave me the inspiration to want to help these people, but it brought my mental health down. It brought a constant worry over of all these things that were going on that we didn't really know about, and people were writing about it, and they were true stories, and it was like, whoa. And I was working for the NHS, and I was doing safeguarding training, and it was the same kind of stories that I'd been reading in the books, and it made me realise that I'd stopped reading these books because they weren't making me feel good, they weren't helping me escape, they weren't helping me to relax, so I kind of stepped away from any type of reading whatsoever. And then I decided to download Audible on my phone, and I started to listen to audiobooks, which kind of got me a bit back into reading, listening to it. And then I discovered Jeremiah Scott's book, which is called The Theory of You. And it was so easy to read, it was uplifting, it was about learning how to better myself, improve my meditation, dramatically. And it was like, so there are books out there that we can use to boost our mood and to improve our lives and to make us feel better. So it's about choosing the right book and choosing a book that will boost your mood. So one of the other books that I listened to on Audible was The Secret, and it was about the law of attraction and what we think about, we bring into our lives. And it's like, well, yeah, that's right. And if we're reading and we're bringing these things and we've got that in our mind all the time, and it's not a nice thing that we're reading, and it's quite distressing, and it might be a good story, it might be a nice way to escape, but if you're not in a good place with your mental health, to put yourself to escape into somewhere that's not a nice place is not really the best thing to do for your mental health. It's about making the choice again and choosing books that will improve you and improve your life and improve how you live. So another book that I've recently finished is one called Get Selfish by Joanna Hunter, and it's what I've been telling everybody to do. It's what I've kind of started to do probably a couple of years ago. And it's not about getting selfish in a horrible way. It's about getting selfish to better yourself so that you can do things for others. So you do self-care, you do look after yourself, you do treat yourself to these things, because all these things help us in different ways. So that's a book that I would recommend, is Joanna Hunter, Get Selfish, The Way Is Through. That's a really, really good book if you're struggling with self-esteem and your confidence, and if you think being selfish is selfish in a bad way, then it's just something interesting to open your eyes, is that it's not horrible to be selfish. To be selfish and to do self-care and to look after ourselves actually improves our lives. And the more we look after ourselves, and the more we learn about ourselves, and the more we do things for ourselves, the better our lives become. And then the people around us, also their lives become better. If they see us happy and they see us enjoying ourselves with what we're doing, then they're going to start looking for things to make them happy and to start improving their lives so that they enjoy what they're doing as well. It's about following suit. So there's other different books that I kind of turn to quite often. So I know we've got the world of the internet, which is an amazing place, and there's so much we can read on there. It's absolutely fantastic. I've got a few books on my Kindle. Another book that I turn to quite a lot is the Symbolism book. So it's a book of just loads of different things and what they symbolise. And sometimes it's good to kind of take note of things around us, and if it kind of stands out, is that some sort of symbolism as to what's going on in our lives, or what we need to do next in our lives. It's about looking it all up. So the numbers, a lot of us, I know Kev has been seeing a lot of repeating numbers recently, and I know I have myself. I even saw a 333 this morning and several 111s. And it's about taking note of these things, and books and looking it up and learning these things are a good way of helping us, really. So reading actually reduces our stress levels by 68%, which in the studies that have been done is more than exercise, more than having a cup of tea, more than going for a walk and listening to music. Reading's one of the things that actually takes us away and gives us that space to de-stress and to kind of let us start relaxing away from what's been going on around us. So another book that I've listened to on Audible is Women Who Run With Wolves, which was really good. And then there's the things like the 5am Club, which I don't get up at 5 o'clock, but the principles behind it and having a routine and the meditation, I do meditation every day and things like that. And it's about looking for books that can kind of give us little tips and little ways to build these routines into our lives to make our lives better. There's loads of self-help books out there, loads and loads of them, and it's about asking people, have you got any books? You'll see me on my Facebook when I finish reading a book. I'll post on there. Anyone got any book recommendations? So at the minute I'm reading Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell, which I've not picked up for a little while because there's been quite a bit going on with homeschooling, but now now the kids have gone back to school and we're taking that step back into normality, kind of, because I'm still on furlough. So it's about building up that routine. So now I've got time to kind of start reading my book again if I want. And I know if I get stressed out, that's something that I can do. I've not picked it up for a while. So I tend to go for the music and different things like that, or journaling, which we'll talk about in a few more episodes. And it's about taking the choices, and don't read the sad stories. Read something that's going to uplift you. Read something that's going to improve your intelligence, even something knowledgeable. Learn something new and take it into your life and see if it makes a difference. So when we're reading, we're not sat listening to our thoughts, and we're not allowing our minds to kind of keep repeating the negativity over and over again. So when we're reading, it takes us away from that. So if we choose a book that's going to give us skills to try and stop that negative impact of our lives and our thoughts, then it's even better because it's giving us ways to kind of better our lives. I really recommend The Theory of You by Jeremy Scott and The Secret, because together those two things have kind of allowed me to step back and be a bit more selfish like the other books. So they've allowed me to step back and kind of figure out what's next in life, what's going on. And you know what, it doesn't matter what's next in life and what's going on, because it's about enjoying this moment. So now the kids are back at school, and we've got time to kind of look after ourselves, and some of us might feel guilty about that. Some of us might be jumping for joy, and it's about finding a happy medium and doing different things and kind of finding a new routine, keeping ourselves so that we're still going, and it's about being happy now, not what's going to be happening in the future. Because if we focus on what's going on in the future, or are we going to go back into lockdown again, or is this going to happen, or is this going to happen, or if we don't know what's going to happen. So it's about kind of making ourselves happy now. So if you've got this extra time, why not pick up a book and read it? Why not? What if you've not picked up a book and read for years? Then perhaps this is now the time to make that little change, and that might just be the improvement that you need in your life. That might just be the thing that you need to boost your life and to boost your mood. Just a bit of insight into somebody else's life and how they've lived. There's loads of books out there from people who have probably gone through exactly what you're going through right now, and they've written about it and they've written how they overcome it. And it's like my podcast. So I've not written a book about my life and how I overcame it, but I've done a podcast and all that information's in there, and it's about trying to find these things, trying to find inspiring people that have gone through what you've gone through and that have overcome it, and how did they do it, what did they do, and look at their routine, see what you can incorporate into your life. And books are a wonderful way of getting an insight into these people's lives, because it's all down in the book from their words of what they did to get themselves to the point in life they're at. So if you can find somebody who's kind of gone through similar turmoil as you, it's about using their experiences. What did they do? How did they overcome it? Can you do that? No, if not, find something else. Look, just keep looking, and eventually you'll come across something that just sits right with you. So one person might do it one way, another person might do it another way, 5 other people might do it 5 other different ways. But if you don't kind of know about all those ways, how do you know if one of those ways won't work for you to boost your mood and improve your life? So that's what the Mood Booster Workbook's about as well. But it's more about the journaling about what these things do to our lives and showing ourselves how these things improve our lives. So if you find a book and something specific jumps out in that book, you can document it in the Mood Booster Workbook, where it says, read a book, this is a great start, you're already here doing it. We're looking at boosting our mood, so make sure you don't choose a sad story. Remember, uplifting songs, it's the same for books too. It's all about boosting our mood and making the right choices. Make a list of the books you've chosen below. Ask for recommendations if needed, and you can always listen to audiobooks or podcasts too. And it's about finding what's in the books and what helps you, and write a list of the books that have really benefited you. Write a list of the books that you want to read that you feel might improve your life, and journal a bit about them. Journal what about that book has changed your perception about something, and kind of keep a note of it, and it's always there for you to look back on. So if you read a book and you get some sort of massive insight from that book and you've documented it in the Mood Booster Workbook, then in 6 months' time, when that book's not in the forefront of your mind, and you look at your Mood Booster Workbook because you're not feeling too great, and you reread that, then that's a way of kind of reminding yourself. So we know these things and we teach ourselves these things, but sometimes we just need that reminder, and a constant reminder of these things that improve our mood and boost us and lift us up. The Mood Booster Workbook's the perfect place to have it all in one, but you can just journal it in a notebook if you need to. I'll put the link for the Mood Booster Workbook on the show notes. And we also need some subscribers. We need some rates and we need some more reviews. So the last review on the podcast is from quite a while ago, so it would make me really, really happy if you could leave us a little review of how we've helped you. And it also helps with the funding as well, so we can let the funders see what My Words is doing and whether they're helping you or not. And good reviews, please. Right, I'm going to go now, and I will see you next week. We'll see you all soon. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to Broken Mind and Growing Confidence. Find us on Facebook at Positive Life Workshops. Come and join our Facebook group, Broken Mind and Growing Confidence, or the Ladies Wellbeing Group. Our anxiety course will be live soon. If you're looking to improve your confidence, if you're interested in any healing, card readings, having problems with anxiety or your own confidence, feel free to give me a message. Thanks for listening. We'll be here again next Thursday. Goodbye.